what's up YouTube? It's your brother YT. Wake 'em up, back at it again with another video. Let's go in on these Indeed scammers. Don't even put your information on there if you don't want these scammers to hit you up with marketing jobs or with jobs that'll pay you $500 for 90 minutes of your time, or jobs that'll pay you $6,000 per month and then you only got to work like 10 hours per week. Once you sign up, then you are opening up these websites to sell your information to third-party sellers, scam companies, the whole nine. But family, you already know what to do, and if you're brand new too, thumbs up this video so YouTube can push this content out. Smash subscribe to join the tribe, and ring the post notification bell as well. All right, let's get into it.
Okay, so for all the people right now that's interviewing and using Indeed, please be aware of scams, because I just got freaking almost scammed. I don't know. So yesterday I got a text from this company that I applied for, and they wanted to set up a Zoom interview and everything seemed legit. They sent me a Zoom link. I looked at like the Indeed post, their website, like everything seemed legit. I was like, okay, like I'm interviewing for marketing positions right now. I was like, okay, like let's do it. So last night I start, writing all my stuff down, researching the company, and just like looking at it. It looked like they're like a startup company, and just like, okay, like getting all my stuff down. Like I literally wrote all this stuff down. Like I'm not joking. Like I really was prepared for that interview. Like I'm so annoyed because I woke up early, did my makeup, put on the shirt, like I was getting ready for the Zoom interview, and then they even texted me this morning. Here's the text, like everything seemed legit, and then they just never came in the Zoom. So then I tried calling and call failed, and I tried calling the number on the website and no connection. That's when I know it was a scam, and now I'm annoyed because I'm already struggling trying to find a marketing job, and now I have to go through scammers too.
I saw a video talking about the job hosting sites, Indeed, LinkedIn, all of the sites that are showing what jobs are available are actually just taking your data and selling it. And I realized that since I've been applying to jobs, I have gotten more spam calls than ever before. I've sent in about 80 applications, 0 callbacks. 0. But the amount of unknown callers, spam callers, the people that have been contacting me through text and saying, hey, add me on WhatsApp. Are you looking for a job? Why would I add you on WhatsApp? And why are you in a different country? What is going on here? Or I'm being sent jobs and you can't apply to them unless you pay to be a part of their job site finder. You have to pay to find a job? If you don't pay, you can't apply to that job? I don't believe these jobs are real. I think that they are mining our data, and it's becoming increasingly obvious that I'm not getting calls from employers. I'm getting calls from people who have bought my information from LinkedIn or Indeed, and now they're calling me trying to market shit to me, trying to make money, trying to get me to sign up for job hosting sites so that they can get my money for me to look for a job to make money. This is sick.
Let's be real. You know when they give us the terms and conditions, when we sign up for these sites and we just check the box and we say, okay, we agree. A lot of the times we're agreeing that it's cool for these companies like Indeed to sell our information. We can't blame nobody because we need these sites, right? And they need us even more. So that's what we're complying to. Hey, if I'm gonna use this website, then I'm cool with y'all selling my information. Having scammers hit me up, getting random text all the time, like I always get on my phone. This phone right here, I always get text from scammers, like every day. Every single day. And I just play with them. I play games with them. And they don't even respond back to me no more.
Y'all are just now catching on to what's going on with Indeed, because I've been peeped this since like last year. I was like, I feel like they have a bunch of fake jobs on here, and that they might be doing business with some kind of AI company behind the scenes, because I've been noticing the same jobs. Like Indeed now comes off like just weird. Like you see like the same jobs over and over. It's like a loop. And you can't really see a lot of new postings. Like it doesn't feel like an accurate reflection of the market, because I'm somebody that always use Indeed because I always have more success on Indeed. Like I know people feel like LinkedIn is better for white collar jobs, but I really don't get a lot of success on LinkedIn. I always have more success on Indeed, so it's like my go-to. And for like the last year, it just hasn't been hitting. I just keep seeing the same old companies post the same old job openings, and I feel like if it's not a government job, it's probably not a real job or like a real opening. Like you, it might even be a real company. People are starting to call out like all of these scam companies and like fake companies. People trying to affix you. Like Indeed been on that weird shit for a minute, and it's just sad because again, it was one of the better like job apps, but I've been peeped. Indeed is up to something weird. And I started doing research on it last year, and other people were saying like when they signed up for Indeed, they started noticing a rise in like spam callers and like spam people reaching out. And I started to take note because when I got the job I have now, I shut my Indeed account down. And a few months later, got back on Indeed, kind of started looking, and sure enough, like here come the spam text, spam calls. You know what I'm saying? Like the rise in spam did correlate to me getting back on the app. So yeah, it's a bunch of like shady shit going on. Again, it's a lot of money laundering jobs up on there, a lot of fake marketing jobs, a lot of fake jobs, period. A lot of low pay. It's a lot of bullshit. So stay woke. Let's talk in the comments.
Listen, if your scam radar going off, your subconscious is telling you, listen, this is a scam. Follow that. Believe it. Don't waste time, and don't even upset yourself thinking, nah, maybe it's not. More than likely it is. Don't try to psych yourself out and be like, nah, it's not. You see the red flags, so there's no point in even going. And these days, especially after we seen people getting abducted, they've been taken, you really got to follow that and be like, you know what? This the Most High telling me don't do it. You can't get your life back. Nor can you get your time back. You don't want to waste time either. You can't get that back.
When I tell y'all Indeed played in my face so hard today, it's ridiculous. So I was already kind of sketchy. I already thought it was like a bit of a scam when I first seen the job, because I don't know if y'all heard about like those 14 or 15 people that have gone missing after going to the same Indeed job listing. So I was super scared. So I'm already like asking my husband to, okay, come on, like, can you drive me up there? That way, if anything happens to me, you're right there. But red flag number one for me is that they didn't email, like in the Indeed job, they had you send the application, but you also had to text the number on there. So that was weird to me because I was kind of freaking out. Red flag number two is that these people were super unorganized. Like one person reached out to me, they never got back with me. Another person reached out to me, and I'm like, okay, this is the same job. Two people have reached out to me, and at this point, I just need like a time and a date confirmation. I have the position. Okay, it's supposed to be like a remote position, right? Keep in mind, this is supposed to be a remote position. So I finally got like a confirmation on the interview, right? And they were like, okay, this is the in-person interview for a remote position. That was red flag number 3 to me, because I'm like, most remote jobs, they just let you get on like a Zoom call or something, right? Okay, so now everything is fine. I got the date, I got the time, I got the location, and communication was just one person. But I'm like, do I want to work with unorganized people? I guess. So y'all, keep in mind that this remote position was for like data entry, like appointment setting, right? Okay. So I get there, and once I seen like the building and I seen like the suite that it was in, I said, okay, like I text my husband, like, okay, I'm okay. It's legit. It's a real job. But like, I am definitely there on time. I'm actually early, because I feel like for an interview, if you're not early, you're actually late. You got to set like a good first impression. But these people were late. Like the lady who was supposed to be doing the interview, she was late. And it was like a group of us sitting there for like 15 minutes. And I was like, oh my gosh, do I want to work with these people? So initially I thought this was going to be like one of them type of interviews where they put you all in a circle and they kind of see like who stands out the most. But after about 30 minutes, that wasn't it. So they were already late 15 minutes, and then an additional 30 minutes for waiting for the person to finish interviewing. So finally it was my turn. So the guy did my interview, and he was talking about this, talking about that. But like what is this, red flag number 5? They just kept trying to push like how much money you can make, which is important, but like typically jobs don't lead with that. They kind of just lead with who they are and like, your position, everything like that. So I just feel like they were like really trying to convince me that I was gonna be able to really make a lot of money here, right? Y'all, why these people, they tell me at the end of it, basically like it was like one of them sales job, and I was like, you wasted my time. Like basically they wanted me to like use my personal connections, whether it be like my family, my friends, to reach out and tell them about their company and then eventually like move up the ladder. But I'm like, no, you guys are using me for your networking and your marketing, and that's not what I signed up for. Like, these people really need to stop lying. If a position says like remote, appointment setter position, if it's sales, y'all just put sales under there. Like, it really is really deceiving people. So yeah, they're basically just wasting my time. I just woke up. I'm sorry for looking crusty. But I keep seeing a lot of stuff about Indeed and, people going to interviews and things being suspect. And literally somebody actually went missing from Indeed. And I just want to say, I do not like Indeed for that exact reason. Tell me why I applied through a job, like through multiple jobs through Indeed, right? And when I tell you, since then, it was a long period. I was without a real good job for about like 4 months. And when I tell you, every week it seemed almost, it was somebody text messaging me my personal number saying, hey, this is Joanne from this business. I'm trying to hire you as a private assistant for $700 a week, right? So it's really messed up because they target vulnerable people who are literally looking for a job. So of course, like anybody, I'm like, okay, personal assistant is $700 a week. Like, okay, like, let me check this out. So they literally send me a link with the application, right? I put the usual stuff, your name, email, address, right? So why did these people actually send a $7,000 check to my house? No joke. I already knew it was a scam. I didn't do no paperwork with these people. How are you gonna give me $7,000? So literally they're just like, you just need to put this in your bank, send us a portion of that money, and then you could keep it, buy gifts for the children. Like, it was just like this weird schemey type of thing, right? Girl, when I got that check, I literally shredded it up. I blocked those numbers because it's so crazy that they sent this check, which is a fake check. So if I was, ditzy and not, intelligent, I would have sent them the money portion from the check, and it would have bounced in my account. My account would have got shut down, and then I would have had to owe that money back because it's the fake money. The check would have bounced. So it's just so crazy. Like, Indeed needs to be sued because I don't know what they're doing, but they're definitely selling people's information, and that's so wrong because we're vulnerable people, looking for a job, and they are targeting people that are literally vulnerable, needing work, and it's awful. Like, how do these scammers have access to all of our information? Like, Indeed, you need to be sued, period. I don't care.
If the job need money from you, it's a scam. You supposed to be paying me. If you need me to put this in my bank account and send you back the extras, scam too. You trying to get down on me. You trying to get over on me. You trying to manipulate me. You can't be too vulnerable to the point that you don't see the red flags. You still got to be out here moving with discernment, moving with your head on straight, still out here thinking. Yes, it's very easy for scammers to get the vulnerable. They always target the vulnerable. You don't want to be one that's targeted. And if you don't know, go ahead and go on Google. Go on Reddit. Ask the internet, do this seem right? And you're going to see something. You're not the first person that either fell for this scam or was targeted by this scam. You were not the first person that they was like, you know what, I'm about to target this person right here. No, they've been doing this. So go ahead and hop on the internet and make sure you don't see nothing pulling up that says scam or nothing like that in relation to that job listing, to that employer, that company name. Just make sure nothing pulls up or nothing similar to that scam. But listen, this is not nothing that's brand new. This next lady, she did get scammed in 2017 by someone on Indeed, an Indeed scammer. Let's hear her out.
Story time about how I got scammed on Indeed in 2017. So in 2017, I applied to this job on Indeed. It was called administrative assistant, and they were paying like $25 an hour. Now keep in mind, this is 2017. So the cost of living was still low. So if you was making like $16, $17, $18 an hour, you were the shit. You was making that bag. So I'm thinking, oh my God, I'm gonna make that check. So they emailed me back and everything, and they set up a Zoom call with me. Now keep in mind, in 2017, the only jobs I had prior to applying to this one was fast food and SeaWorld. So I'm like, oh my God, this is going to be my first corporate job. So they set up the Zoom call, but of course they didn't have their camera on during the call. She just had like a picture of a Caucasian lady, and the camera was off. So of course they tell me I get the job. At that point, she started going over everything with me. She's like, okay, when you go out, you need to be wearing heels. You need to be dressed a certain way because you're representing the company. Okay, cool, no problem. She tells me that I'm gonna need to make sure that I have a bank account to receive funds to pay for things, because during the interview they ask you, do you own a copy machine? They ask you about all types of office supplies that, let's be real, nobody has on hand unless you're working in an office. So I'm like, no, I don't have that. But she's like, okay, we'll take care of that. So for that purpose, I needed to have a bank account so they could send me a check or any funds to be able to get what I needed to get. Story time about how I got scammed on Indeed in 2017. During the interview, she also tells me HR is actually on vacation. So for your first week, you're going to be paid in cash. I'm like, okay, that's fine with me as well. And she said we would meet in person next week when she got in. So cool, fine. I'm happy at this point. Oh my God, I got this job. I'm ecstatic. I go to my baby daddy and I'm like, oh my God, I don't have a bank account. At this point, I only had, like in 2017, I think I had like a NetSpend card. I didn't have a bank account. So he takes me and I open up a bank account. Story time about how I got scammed on Indeed in 2017. Well, the day before the check was supposed to come, she sends me an email like, oh my gosh, we mistakenly wrote you a check for too much money. Once you deposit the check, I need you to send me $500 back, and you just spend the rest on office supplies, and then you take your first week's pay out of the paycheck. So I'm like, okay, cool, fine, no problem. I go to the bank, I deposit the check into my account. Bank of America only released $200. So I let them know, like, hey, they only released $200 up front. They're like, okay, that's no problem. Go ahead and send us the $200. Wait for the rest to clear. So I do that, and no problem. I send it to this bank account or whatever that they give me. No problem. Few days go by, Bank of America shut my account down for fraud. So I'm like, oh my God, how is this fraud? This is my job. I go up to Bank of America and I'm raising hell, because I'm like, why would you shut my account down? I need this account for work. I showed them the emails and everything, and baby, they gave me a, I'm gonna hold your hand when I say this type of moment. They was like, baby, this is fraud. And I'm like, this is not fraud. This is my job. I'm showing them the job posted on Indeed. I'm showing them every little thing, and they're like, baby, you've been scammed. And I was in disbelief. So not only did they get me for $200, they also got my account shut down. I was pissed.
Listen, you never want to get your account shut down. You don't want to be in check system due to you being scammed. Once you're in check system, you can never get a bank account ever again if you get your account closed down for fraudulent activity. It's going to be a hassle. I ain't going to say you can't get it opened again, but you got to get out of check system. You do not want to be in check system, especially with anything related to a scam, if you knew it or not. You do not want to be a victim of that. That falls on you.
It's for my job seekers that ain't got no job and y'all trying to get a job. Don't scroll. Let me talk to you right quick about your homeboy Indeed.com. Nah, I just want to put awareness out there. My husband had applied for this job that he got many experience in. Many years of experience, I'm sorry. He applied for the job, right? Why was the interview at Starbucks? So he gonna have an interview at Starbucks. The man conducted the interview, right? But he not having an interview with him. The man pulls out a cell phone, flips it over, and let my husband look at it to talk to two other guys for a job interview on Zoom. My husband couldn't do that from home, maybe? I don't know. But that was weird. So my husband had an interview with two people on this other guy's cell phone. And so they kind of like immediately hired my husband. Ding-a-ling-ling-ling-ling-ling, right? So, my husband, he like, all right, cool. So, in the same day, they wanted him to do some kind of training. In the same day? But the man wasn't there to do that training for them. So, my husband had to go back out there to do the training. Mind you, my husband ain't did any other thing for hiring requirements, right? So the people tell him, yeah, we're gonna send you some emails. You're gonna have to fill out. You gotta take some drug tests. You know the regular hire shit, right? Regular requirements, right? Peep this. So we sitting at home and stuff. We waiting on my husband, waiting on emails. They just keep asking my husband the same old shit over and over and over again. You wanna know what they keep asking him? If you guessed it, then you're right. His social security number. And they keep asking him in different types of forms to fill out, right? But it's still asking for that social security number. So my husband, I said, babe, I don't think this is... And my husband said, I'm with you. He don't agree with me a lot of shit. He said, I'm with you, babe. He said, this don't sound right. He said, I've never went through this process of getting hired through this. I've got many years of experience in this. But anyway, long story short, y'all, my husband called them and said, look, what's going on? This is something fishy. I'm going to let y'all know right now. Y'all seem a little scammy. The man was like, we seem scammy. So another guy called my husband and was like, nah, we ain't scamming, da da da. And he goes on to tell my husband all this stuff, right, to make it sound legitimate. And the man was like, yeah, you're going to get a condition of offer. You have to wait for all of this. You have to wait for this and that and the third. We building up your profile. You have to give a social security number for us to process everything. Now tell me why the same day my husband halfway cussed them out, my husband get a condition offer of employment. It looked like somebody just typed that shit up. Like, I know it's typed, but... understand where I'm coming from. It just looked like he typed that up really quickly and sent that to my husband. So my husband looking at it, and mind you, everything in lowercase letters. So I'm just like, babe, that don't look right. Because you can go to ChatGPT and tell them to make you a document, period. So he's like, I don't know, babe. He said, this is a little fishy. Because they not telling him anything. And then the contract... I don't get to the contract, but it ain't paying her right. And my husband said, I've never got paid this much less to do these type of jobs. So he declined the offer. Because it didn't look right, it didn't sound right. And my husband like, I've never got paid like this to do this job. What I want to let y'all know is be careful about applying for jobs on Indeed.com. I know y'all have heard this many times. But I'm telling you, since I experienced it, I'm letting my pumpkin pies know, be careful about applying for jobs on Indeed.com. If it sounds too true and they hire you too fast and they keep asking for that social security number, don't even do it. Okay? Because now, my husband might be in a situation. I told him to keep checking on his credit. But it seemed a little shady. Nobody knew how much my husband was going to get paid. And all of a sudden, they sent a contract to him telling him how much you're going to get paid. And it's not resonating with my husband. So, just be careful. Y'all know we need a job. We got to feed our family. But be careful what we're applying for at the same time. Look for the red flags.
Identity theft is very, very easy to get your identity taken. Get a wrong job, your personal information, like your social, and it's over. You're going to have phones in your name. You might have a house in your name now. You might have a car that you don't know nothing about that they get. They could steal your whole identity. They could become you on paper. That's what they want to do. This is people from Africa. You know, them Nigerian scammers don't be playing. They know how to do all type of fraud. They know how to do fraudulent checks. They know how to do a whole lot, right? You do not want nobody that's good in this field to have your information, because you could end up owing a whole lot of people. You could end up being the owner of a lot of different things that you didn't know you was. You have credit cards open, loans, lines of credit. Once they get you, they going to get you. And they're going to try everything.
And another thing, before I go to bed, I know I've been ranting, but this is a good one, y'all. So
let's talk about Indeed. So for one, I've been seeing people post about Indeed, about girls going missing on Indeed, about the jobs not being legit, this, that, and the third. So me personally, I've always used Indeed. Like when it first came out, it used to be like a great place to find good, legit jobs. So I was on Indeed about 2-3 weeks ago looking for a job, just another job, job searching regularly. And I have sales experience, customer service experience, call center experience, all that good stuff, right? So this one job that I applied to, and I'm not gonna say their name for certain reasons, but they reached out to me and they wanted to do a Zoom interview. Okay, so this job told me the job description was getting donations via the telephone. So it was like a call center that gets donations for a certain charity. And you need a sales experience, a customer service experience. Of course, that seemed right up my alley. Okay, cool. So I do the first Zoom interview, and they tell me about the charities that they do this with, how it's business casual. So like I said, they want you to come business casual, this, that, and the third. So I did one Zoom interview, and it was a group interview. So they chose me to do a second interview. I did the second Zoom interview, and they said, okay, we really like you, so we want to do a third interview. So I'm like, okay, this must be a legit job. 3 interviews, that's kind of a lot, but okay. I do the third interview via Zoom, and they say, okay, you start orientation on Monday. So they offered me the job. I'm like, okay, cool. Now, they said that the pay was $600 a week plus bonuses and commission. Okay, cool. So me thinking this is a call center, right, to take donations, right, I pull up to the place for my orientation. It was a very different environment. They all in there playing loud music, planning on, what you should say to the customers, things like that. So I'm just taking notes, taking tips, and they basically went over like our pay and things like that on the orientation. You filled out paperwork, and they said, okay, come back Tuesday for your first full day of work. So Tuesday comes along. Now, y'all remind you, I'm kind of looking at the job sideways a little bit because it seems legit, but remember, it's supposed to be a call center, so I didn't see, like, any desk, any cubicles, or computers, so I'm like, where are we taking the calls? So Tuesday comes. I come in Tuesday in my business casual outfit looking good. Okay, cool. Tuesday comes, and they pair me up with one of their top people who get donations. Okay. So we go into what they call environments or something like that. They call it atmosphere. We go into the room they call atmosphere, and we're basically talking about how to approach these customers and ask them for donations. Okay, cool. So 12 o'clock comes. After they went over all the little steps, how you should approach people, how you should talk to them, how you should ask, how you should bring up what the charity is for and what it does, they say, okay, y'all, it's time to get in the field. So I'm thinking, okay, cool, we about to go to a call center, or we about to go to wherever the cubicles and stuff is and get this training and whatnot done. Okay, no. The person they partnered me up with and everybody else, they all head outside the building. So, okay, I'm following. We head outside the building. And they're like, okay, you partnered up with Andrew. That's what we're going to call him. So I hop in Andrew's car and I say, okay, so where's the call center? Like, where are we taking these donations at or getting these donations? And they said, oh, should we go to the plaza or should we go to Oak Park Mall? I'm like, huh? Baby. I don't know why I didn't drive myself, but I carpooled with Andrew and one other person from the job. So we get to Oak Park Mall, and it's like a Chipotle across from Oak Park Mall. So we park at the Chipotle. I start seeing Andrew bring out tables, no chairs, just tables, a tablecloth with the charity name and all that on it. And I'm like, okay, so what's going on? Remind y'all, this particular day, it's raining, storming, cold. I got sickle cell, so I can't be in the cold. I don't work outside jobs for that reason because I can't be in the cold too long, and I can't be in the heat too long, or I'll get dehydrated and I'll end up sick. So I see him pulling out, setting up this table, putting the tablecloth on it, this, that, and the third. And he's like, you just stick by me, today is your first day, so you just watch how I do it and learn your script, and you'll be good. So at this point, I'm like, nigga, we going to random places, approaching random people outside? Oh, no, baby. So I'm outside. I'm watching him approach, people, say his little scripts, whatever. Remind y'all, like I said, I got sickle cell. It's cold. So I tell him, I'm like, I'm about to go sit inside this Chipotle because it got super cold. Baby, I went inside that Chipotle, and I called my man. I said, come pick me up. My man came and picked me up. Because, baby, who's standing in the cold or the heat or outside, period, approaching people about a charity? And then on Indeed, y'all not telling people this. Y'all telling people, and even on the Zoom interview, y'all not telling people this. Y'all telling people it's a call center. And then Andrew told me in the car, he's like, yeah, I just think that's something they say to get people in the door. And what, bro? So you mean to tell me the whole time y'all lied, telling me it's a call center, it's this and the third, it's right up your alley, and then when I get here, y'all think I'm about to be outside approaching folks like, hey, can you donate to this charity? Baby, no. I called my man took me home. They haven't seen me since, baby. Y'all can keep it. Indeed. Y'all need to be doing background checks on these jobs, because that's crazy. My thing is, I didn't know I was getting in a car with this person I do not know. I don't care if he's from a job or whatever. That could have went left. He could have been a weirdo and kidnapped me or anything. And people go missing from some of these Indeed jobs. What are y'all doing, Indeed? What happened to the Indeed in the beginning that had the legit jobs and stuff? Y'all need to be double checking these jobs, doing background checks and all that on them like y'all do on the people who's applying for the jobs, okay? Y'all need to make sure these jobs are legit. And that they're giving legit information, because they're not. They're lying to people to get them in the door. Just like I have a friend who said that she's went to 3 interviews that were supposed to be customer service jobs, but they were actually sales jobs. But on Indeed, it said customer service because they're just trying to get people in the door. That's wrong. Y'all wasting people's time, gas, all that. Indeed, get it together. And everybody, if you're on Indeed applying for a job, just be very careful. Make sure you Google the place first and all that. Because what's crazy is I actually Googled the place and it was actually a real place, but it did not tell you what they did. So you got to be careful, y'all. You have to be careful, okay? Be careful on Indeed. Make sure y'all Googling these places, and Indeed, do better background checks with the jobs, okay? So that people can be safe. Stay safe out there, y'all.
What's up, everyone? I've been seeing a lot of scams out here on places like Indeed and Monster, Snag a Job, and a lot of these other places where you can find jobs at. Unfortunately, there is a lot of people that are getting laid off more and more people are going to be looking to find other jobs. There are a lot of scams on these websites. Definitely be careful. A job will never pay you for work that you have not completed yet. So if you're applying to a job and they want to mail you a check, do not cash it, especially if you know you haven't done any work yet. That is extremely strange. That is a red flag. Number two, if they try to send you some sort of delivery in the beginning and they need you to ship them out to other places or other countries, don't do it. They want you to be the very first person that the police will come speaking to. They don't want no trace to their company, their fake company. Don't ever cash a check that they will give to you, especially if you haven't completed any sort of work. And if you know the check is an unreasonable amount that you know that you probably wouldn't be getting paid if you were working in that position, just don't cash it. They may claim, oh, it's for work supplies, or oh, we need you to cash it and then send us the money back. What happens in a situation like that is that you get a check, you cash it, they want you to put it in your bank account, and then they want you to start taking out that money and giving it to them. And then they want you to possibly keep a portion of that money. What happens in a situation like that is that the check is either going to bounce, or it's going to come back as fake, which it probably is. And the money that you were taking out was really your money. And if you didn't have any money, you'll probably owe the bank money for putting in a bad check. Be careful with that, please. As you get older, you will start to see a lot of scams on there. A lot of the fake ones also have misspellings. There's a lot of errors in their posts. Most jobs are going to make sure that they have a decent post on there. They don't want to confuse anyone. They want their post to look good. They want it to be attractive. They're not going to be posting a job post on there with a whole bunch of errors and, bad punctuation. Another thing is that never meet them in a place that you feel uncomfortable. If you're about to do an interview or something, because you ain't trying to get robbed or trying to get scammed or anything like that. So just be mindful about what you apply to. If it's too good to be true, it probably is. And definitely talk to people about it. Look for reviews. And if the reviews all say it's a scam, it probably is. So just wanted to throw that out there.
You don't want to have to deal with all of that. So just make sure you're vetting each and every single job, not randomly applying to jobs anymore. Before, you could just hit apply 1,000 times to 1,000 different jobs, not read the description, nothing. But now you got to make sure this is a real job. It might not even be a real job that you're applying for. You got to make sure if they do call you for an interview, that you make sure all of that's looking right. Make sure there's no errors in spelling, no weird questions that they're asking. You got to make sure the building that the interview is at is a real location, a real place that does interviews. They might be having you come to a bando. They might be having, it's all type of things that can go down these days, man. Listen, I hope the best for everybody that's out here applying. I'm not going to say don't use Indeed, but you got to be skeptical. Family, let me know what y'all think about this video, man. If you made it to the end, I appreciate you. Peace and shalom. I'm going to catch y'all on the next one.